That's the coolest part for me is open mic players, they want to play music more than they want to do anything else in their lives.
Just do it. Don't worry about what other people think about it. Like just get up there and make your songs heard.
You know, like every high school kid, when I started playing guitar, I had that dream, I'll make it one day. And, 41 years old. I'm almost 42. And
Right.
I have no delusions I'm going to be some grand rock star.
Being a gigging musician is a dream of a lot of people.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Open Mic with Scott Cummins. I'm Scott, your host, and usually, for those of you that are familiar with this show, usually I'm standing outside of a bar somewhere in the country, and some bar that doesn't know I'm going to be there, and then all of a sudden we go in and we'll talk to any of the musicians that are playing original songs. Well, open mic to me doesn't just mean musicians and songs. It means anybody doing anything creative. And I was on the set of my latest movie from Squawking, Parrot Productions. It's called The Guitar Teacher. It'll be out in probably May or June of 2015, so be sure to look for that, but we'll keep you posted. Anyways, I was on set for that one day, and one of our actors, Carter Krumins, his mother, I started talking to her and found out that she wrote an original musical and was in the process of getting it produced locally. So I started talking to her, and it's an amazing process creating a musical. I've done it before, but I wanted to have someone else walk me through the challenges that they were going through. So it's something very interesting, and I hope you'll think so too. Here's part one of a conversation I got to have with Kandi Krumins, creator, writer, director, all those things of Midwinter Break, middle school musical.
Yeah, for most of my life. A lot of people know me as being a choreographer, and they go, we didn't know that you did directing. A lot of people have said, you taught like public school. You don't do anything with music, you're a science teacher. So I've worn a lot of different hats, and a lot of people are gonna go, who is that actually did that? And a lot of people can't picture me doing anything else. And so I have a whole bunch of different backgrounds that I'm hoping will come together and make me a teacher to your children. And on that line, when you take a look at the script when you get home, or if you stay to listen to it, you will notice that there's no foul language in it. I've got to say this, that it's one of the major things behind writing this musical was I've had enough of kids having inappropriate material that they've been asked to do because it was challenging for them. I believe kids have a better memory than adults usually do. They have no problem learning a lot of lines. We know that from all the Pokemon. I know that my kids could recite from the time they were really little, or things that kids want to memorize, they will. And I think that kids are capable of doing a lot more than even us adults give them credit for. And they really can do a full-length play, and they don't have to be in a childish animal costume. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But they can do age-appropriate material. I don't believe kids walk around all day long and drop four-letter words all day long, and then, like adults don't. They get fired. And so I believe that theater should be something entertaining and lighthearted and age-appropriate. And so that's what this script is about. You'll also see some of this large part of my... Get me laughing again.
So you had a problem with doing an interview, because why? It's so hard to do it because you're giving birth to the project?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable talking about a lot of things, and I know how to organize my thoughts. But when you give birth to something, gosh, even if it's a child, which is like a production like this, I've done the music, I've done the lyrics, I've written the script. This is all me, pretty much out there.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to talk objectively about something that you've put that kind of...
Well, you don't even need to talk objectively about it because obviously you're proud of it and you like it. So that's not, otherwise you wouldn't spend all this time doing it. But just talking about it, are you nervous about it because it's all you and you're putting it out there in front of people?
Yeah, I can remember even the first time I had to talk about the presentation of getting a sponsorship for this. I just caught myself like almost nervous.
What do you mean getting a sponsorship?
When I got up in front of the small group of people that...
The community theater thing?
Community
theater.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. I know it's a holiday weekend. And just very briefly, what happened is I thought I was cruising along here, and then I got a really bizarre phone call from like two brothers in a row, and then I realized it was my sister-in-law calling me, not my brother, to say that my brother, who was the middle of us 6 kids,
had a heart attack and died that day. And so it's been kind of surreal for me that I was in 65-degree weather, you know, and I'm at a funeral, and then I get home and Scott calls and says, you know, you have auditions in like just over 2.5 weeks, and if you don't have a read-through, when are you gonna like figure out what you have to do? So emergency time, I've contacted you guys, awesome people. Thank you. Here you're doing me a personal favor. I have not literally heard this end to end, and so this is going to be a treat for all of us. Hopefully it's a treat. I know it's a cold read. I'm more nervous than you could possibly ever be. With additional stool to 3 books. Augie is wearing a translator guide tee. Teachers go upstage behind the podiums, and then all the kids and teachers sing. Break it for break. Break it for break. All right, here with us, guys. You feel that rumble.
I know you don't get out much, but you haven't heard of Translator Guy, the superhero that stuns people for a few moments by saying a phrase in a different language?
What's so great about that?
Wow, you guys, that was weird. That was weird. I have been doing this like 8 hours a day subconsciously if I haven't been at the computer. I'm talking to people. Yeah, and I'm hearing other things. You start and I haven't fed the kids. And thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Did they originally approve of
Yeah,
doing
they approved it. I think they could see that I had a passion for what I was doing, which is
Right.
contagious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I've heard from anybody when they see that a passion they have behind what I'm doing, that they want to back it because
Right.
they want to be in the audience of somebody that's produced something
Yeah.
with passion.
Right, because you obviously cared about it. But okay, so you just got done saying it's harder talking about stuff because you gave birth to it. But what about that? I mean, you've been involved with other shows, you've choreographed other shows and stuff. Did you have this kind of passion when it was somebody else writing it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely not. Right? So it's almost easier sometimes talking about it when it's yours because it's yours, and you're.
I would
putting
rather be
yourself out
talking
there.
about your work right now.
Yeah, but this is. But it's yours, and you're putting it out there, and this is the first time you've done one of these.
Right.
So putting it out there, are you nervous with how the audiences are going to respond, or how the actors are going to respond, or how your friends and family are going to respond?
I don't know if it's strange, but no. I think in a weird way, I have gotten affirmation from people I respect, and I think I can put that in my back pocket. And I don't think there's going to be any booing. I mean, I think I've gotten enough. I've gotten enough affirmation from people that I respect, and from what I've seen out there, that I think it's going to do pretty well. Have I earned the right to wear
Sweatpants.
something? This looks a little artsy.
Earn the right. What are you
artsy.
talking about? You can.
Yeah, I
you
never
can
thought somebody should wear one of these unless they actually did something artistic.
what?
You still wear artsy clothes.
Yeah, but now I've earned the right to wear a poncho. Ponchos are for art. They have these little.
There's this girl in my school
Preppy
wears a
things. This is
poncho,
for like
and she wears it
artistic
to
people.
school without fear. It's great.
I need to write some notes down about what I'm going to say. Would
Okay.
you feel uncomfortable if I just, you know what I spent a lot of time thinking about, subconsciously, not writing it down about what I wanted to say, but what it comes down to is, he's just does this every once in a while. It makes me think of teaching and that there is no such thing as a value-free environment, and you have to know who you're talking to, and they need to know that I've been a teacher, and when I start doing this and I start sounding teachery, I'm not being condescending, it's just what I slide back into. And if you start to sound like a coach.
None of you guys have read the script yet. What do you think the show's about?
Two kids. That's all I know. Kids.
Let's start with Ian.
Students and their midwinter break.
And that's about it? That's it. Got it. What do you think, Noah?
I think it's about, I kind of know it, but...
Look at the camera.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to look at the camera. It's a
I
documentary.
think it's about two boys that go on a journey that and the rest of their friends at school that are on midwinter break, and they take I'm not good at this.
We know that sitting here.
Roast.
Well, I think it's about like the end of the school for the midwinter break, and like what the kids do over said midwinter break.
Explain to people in California that might be watching this what the heck midwinter break is.
Midwinter break is about a kid named Norman who is on midwinter break and wishes he wasn't the middle child anymore. And so a bunch of like, I don't know if it's dreams or his wishes comes true, but in the end he doesn't like the world he wished for, so his world goes back to normal and life is good.
Cool. Would you like to tell people in California what midwinter break is? Not the musical?
Oh my goodness.
It's cool. I'm messing with you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
So not the musical?
No, what midwinter break is. People in California don't have a clue what midwinter break
Break is this gorgeous time, probably the middle of February, where it's where most of the snow days happen, so they decided to cut school altogether. And it's pretty awesome because you just get this nice little break right in the middle of winter.
You'll also see some of this large part of my life as a teacher coming through in the script. So that's who you're working with. Scott, I have a lot of respect for. I met Scott just, how long has it been? 6-8 months ago?
A little less than that, yeah.
And he comes from an entirely different perspective of looking at performances, and he is in the film industry. And so you'll hear us argue about silly things like, this is how you highlight a script, and it's like, no, you theater people, and I'll be like, well, you've done, film people, but that's as bad as it should get, all right?
In front of you guys.
In front of you. Facing up stage right towards Miss Bestie, all sit except for June and Justin. June blows a kiss to Justin, who catches it.
Okay now, so I promised to have your work graded and passed back after break. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have asked so many long essay questions.
The grass is always greener somewhere else, and it's true. Till you get there and step in that yard. Do you think I could change things enough to be happy? Travel far, far away to a place I can lose. Just when I go and finish just me in someone else's shoes.
Yeah, and when you're saying do pretty well, you're not talking commercially pretty well. You're talking just the people that see it are going to like it.
Yeah, I've heard from people from a lot of different walks of life that said, Kandi, at first I was a little nervous to hear this because you've taken on a really huge project, and I've seen a lot of poker faces of people that have I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear the pitch, and I want you to hear the music, and I want you to hear some of the script. And I was afraid to respond how I was really going to feel, and I really like this. And there are different people in different walks of life that were relating to parts of the script that I didn't think were really deep, but meant something to them. And so it's kind of cool that I've talked to different people.
Yeah,
that,
and they all see something different in the show.
They all see something different in the show that they see a depth to that they would want to come to the show.
Or be in the show.
Or be in, yeah.
Some of them, because we've talked obviously about it before, and some said they wanted to be in it because they really related to a character, they really loved a character or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest feeling? I mean,
oh yeah.
What about
There's a few minutes of my talk with Kandi Krumins, the writer, director, choreographer, music director, pretty much everything to do with Midwinter Break the musical, and that's what happens. You guys know how open mic works. It's people creating stuff and putting it out there. She's creating a huge project, and she's got 26, 27 kids in the cast. Just a fantastic show, and stay tuned for future episodes of Open Mic in the next couple weeks because we will be showing more of that interview and I will continue to be filming more of the rehearsal process as we go along. So you're going to get to see a behind-the-scenes peek at what really happens and how hard it is and how much work it is to put something like this together, especially when you're doing it from scratch, when you're not taking an existing script like Annie or whatever, West Side Story or whatever, when you're actually the creator of the entire thing and you're originating characters for these kids, some fantastic kids in this cast too. So just stay tuned, and the show will be going up in the middle to the end of March, and I'm sure that's flashing across your screen right now, the actual dates and times and locations. So if you're interested in that, by all means, keep tuning in to Open Mic right here on this cable access station, and you'll get to see how things are made.